does your journey end? You seek that which would bestow upon you the right to rule, the quest to reclaim a homeland and slay a dragon.
Do not think I won't kill you, dwarf.
The story surrounding this chapter of Middle-earth grows every time fans revisit it, because it wasn't merely another entry in a fantasy saga. It was the moment when everything in the journey became heavier, more dangerous, and more emotionally charged. As the world of dwarves, wizards, and hobbits expanded, the sense of looming darkness felt closer than ever, and audiences could feel the tension rising with each small step the characters took toward their destiny. The journey carried echoes of ancient legends, unspoken fears, and the constant pressure of a world slowly giving way to awakening shadows, and that atmosphere shaped the tone of everything that unfolded. With every scene and every encounter, the feeling grew that this was no longer just an adventure. It had become a test of survival, loyalty, and courage in ways the characters never imagined when they first stepped out of the Shire. At the heart of this chapter was the Dwarf Company's unshakable determination to reclaim what was lost, to rebuild the pride and history of their people, and to face a threat that none of them were fully prepared for. The struggles between them, the quiet moments of doubt, the bursts of bravery, and the clashes with forces far beyond their strength made the journey feel raw and unpredictable. The world around them was massive and ancient, filled with stories left behind by those who once walked its mountains, forests, and hidden settlements. That sense of age and depth brought weight to every discovery, making the world feel alive with its own history, one that was now colliding with the choices of these determined travelers. Every step forward carried consequences, whether through unexpected alliances or dangerous confrontations. The dwarves found themselves tested constantly, not only by the creatures hiding in the wild, but also by the pressures that threatened to break their unity from within. Their mission was fueled by loyalty to their homeland, but at the same time shadowed by uncertainty, for reclaiming what was theirs also meant awakening an ancient force that had slept for too long. That delicate balance between hope and dread created a powerful emotional arc. Even the light-hearted moments were tinged with the awareness that something gigantic, fiery, and unforgiving lay ahead of them. The world itself felt more alive than ever, filled with landscapes that shifted from peaceful riversides to dense forests, holding secrets no traveler could easily survive. Venturing into territories ruled by elves brought tension that crackled in the air, an uneasy blend of elegance, old grudges, and powerful abilities that could either help or hinder the journey. The dwarves' long-standing conflict with the elves resurfaced in glances, comments, and silent disagreements that needed no explanation. Yet, beneath that friction, there were moments where cooperation felt like the only thing keeping the darkness from swallowing everything whole. As the travelers pushed on, they encountered forests thick with enchantment and danger, a place where even the air felt heavy with magic. The twisting paths, shifting illusions, and disorienting atmosphere made it clear that this was no ordinary woodland, and only those who understood its strange rhythm could hope to survive it. For the company, the journey through this realm became a test of mind and spirit. Time felt distorted, hope faded, and each wrong turn made them feel more lost than ever. It was a haunting reminder that Middle-earth wasn't just full of monsters. It was full of places where the land itself could work against you. Emerging from that darkness didn't bring relief for long, as the road ahead only grew more dangerous, from hostile creatures to political tensions that waited to erupt at the worst possible moments. Every new ally came with their own motives, and every new enemy felt more relentless than the last. Still, the company pushed forward, driven by the promise of their homeland. Yet with every passing moment, the shadow of the great dragon grew heavier. His presence lingered in conversations, in fears whispered around campfires, and in the silent dread that settled across the company whenever they imagined what it would take to face such a beast. The arrival near the lonely mountain felt like approaching a living nightmare, a place wrapped in silence, marked by destruction and stained by memories of a once great kingdom swallowed by fire and greed. The air around it carried the weight of the past, as if the stones themselves remembered the cries, the flames, and the terror that once echoed within. The company could feel the enormity of their mission settling onto their shoulders, and the closer they came, the harder it was to ignore the fear that even their combined strength might not be enough. Yet their determination to restore their home burned brighter than their fear, giving them the resolve to continue. Stepping into the mountain felt like walking to the heart of a forgotten world. The grand halls, once filled with life, now stood silent and broken, their treasures scattered like ghosts of the past. But the real threat was not the emptiness, it was what slept beneath it. The ancient dragon's presence was a chilling reminder of power beyond imagination, a creature whose mere awakening could shift the balance of an entire era. The tension of knowing they were being watched, that the smallest sound could expose them, created a suspense that held audiences in breathless anticipation. It felt as if the mountain itself was waiting, listening, prepared to erupt into chaos at any second. When the moment of confrontation finally arrived, it was a clash not only of strength, but of wits, courage, and desperation. The dragon's power, intelligence, and overwhelming presence made every interaction feel like a battle for survival. The stunning size, the echo of its voice across the stone chambers, and the flames that illuminated centuries of gold brought an intensity that became one of the defining moments of Middle-earth's on-screen storytelling. It wasn't just a fight, it was the collision of history, vengeance, greed, and destiny, all unfolding in the glowing red-gold light of the mountain's treasure. The dragon's fury was unlike anything the company had faced. Its destructive power tore through the mountain, reflecting not just physical domination, but the embodiment of ancient wrath. The company's attempts to outmaneuver and outsmart the creature revealed their resilience and ingenuity, showcasing how far each character had grown since the beginning of their journey. Viewers could feel the stakes escalating with every move, knowing that one wrong step could spell doom not only for the company, but for entire regions of Middle-earth if the dragon were to be unleashed beyond the mountain. Outside the mountain, the world was shifting too. The rising turbulence among different groups, the growing tensions between powerful leaders, and the increasing signs that an unseen force was beginning to stir added layers of complexity to the story. What began as a quest to reclaim a home now echoed across the entire land, with every choice sending ripples that would eventually shape battles, alliances, and the fate of kingdoms. The sense that a larger darkness was creeping closer created a chilling undercurrent, reminding everyone that even the dragon was only a piece of a much greater threat awakening in the background. Every character carried emotional weight loss, loyalty, ambition, fear, and hope intertwined through their actions. The bonds between them strengthened under the crushing pressure of what they faced. Moments of humor, sadness, and quiet reflection allowed audiences to connect deeply with them, making the danger ahead feel even more personal. The Hobbit at the center of it all showed growth that resonated with many, proving that courage doesn't come from size or strength, but from the choices one makes when everything seems impossible. His journey through doubt, fear, and bravery became one of the emotional anchors of the story. As the chapter neared its final moments, the rising tension exploded into chaos, when the dragon, enraged and unstoppable, broke free from the confines of the mountain. The sight of the fiery creature taking to the skies, heading toward innocent lives with unstoppable fury, left viewers with a shock that lingered long after the screen faded. That moment became one of the most talked about cliffhangers in fantasy cinema, a heartbeat-stopping end that pulled audiences straight into anticipation for what would come next. It captured the perfect blend of fear, awe, and storytelling momentum, ensuring that the journey into Middle-earth felt as alive as ever. The legacy of this chapter continues to grow because it strikes a rare balance between breathtaking spectacle and emotional depth. Fans look back on it as the moment when the tone shifted into something darker, more mature, and more epic. It expanded the world, deepened the characters, and set the stage for a colossal confrontation that would determine the fate of kingdoms and histories. Even now, discussions continue about favorite moments, the richness of the world building, and the chilling presence of the dragon whose influence shaped the entire narrative. Through its powerful blend of adventure, heart, tension, and unforgettable encounters, this chapter stands as a defining piece of Middle-earth storytelling, reminding fans why the world created around these characters remains one of the most captivating realms ever brought to life. It captures the beauty and danger of a land filled with ancient conflicts and rising shadows, bringing viewers along a journey that mixes wonder, fear, courage, and the unstoppable pull of destiny. And even years later, the echoes of this adventure continue to inspire fans, spark conversations, and remind everyone of the thrill of standing on the edge of a world where heroes rise from the most unexpected places.